This is Professor Barry Marshall. He is a Nobel Prize winner. Now, the tale that how he got to win Nobel Prize is very interesting. It shows us how sometimes the review process, which is the best process we have to make sure that the content that is published in scientific literature is at the highest quality possible, sometimes let us down. Let's have a look. Professor Barry Marshall won the Nobel Prize in 2005 and for discovering for discovery that Helicobacter pylori causes peptic ulcer disease. Now, in order for that to happen, he had to publish in scientific literature. Long before he won the Nobel Prize, he observed that this was the case because he was observing that in patients. And he wanted to publish that in a journal. And as a part of the publishing process, the work that you submit, your manuscript, is reviewed by your peers who are gastroenterologists or medical professionals. And what happened to Professor Barry Marshall was that it got rejected. And this is the rejection that he got. He got this rejection effectively saying that unfortunately, what you're trying to publish here is not good enough for the work that we expect to publish in this journal. However, good luck effectively, but we're not interested. Now, Professor Barry Marshall was quite desperate. He wanted to really make a difference. He wanted to really show that what he believed to be the case, he wanted to show it to the world. And in order to do so, he took the step of doing a test on himself. What he did was to drink a cocktail of Helicobacter pylori, drink a cocktail that contained Helicobacter pylori, and soon afterwards he started to get ulcers. And in thereby he could prove, he could do an observation, he could prove that this was the case. This was the reason or the cause and the effect. Helicobacter pylori causing this thing. But why did he have to go to such lengths to prove to the world that this is the case? Just to make a contrast, this is not the only case that we have seen where people have been rejected, researchers have been rejected for their ideas, and later on they get recognized by the most prestigious award like Nobel Prize or some other thing, right? But why does this happen? It happens for several reasons. The first one is that sometimes the content of the paper that you're about to publish or the manuscript, that information that is being published, but is being reviewed or edited by not the correct people. What I mean by that is they're not the best experts to review that paper or that manuscript. As such, they come back with a conclusion which may not be the correct one. And because of that, over the years, we may have lost great ideas not coming to light, or they may have got published in lesser known journals and never really saw the true recognition it really deserves. So that's one. From the perspective of the reviewers, is that there are fewer reviewers to review journal papers, right? Why? Because more and more reviewers are kind of leaving their position because they are questioning why they want to do this, because they're not compensated in any way for the work that they're doing, but reviewing a paper take hours and hours of work. So what they're asking the question, why am I doing that? Can I not spend that time writing another grant application or doing something else or spending time with my students that I can help them or whatever it is, right? And as is true, we are not compensating the reviewers, and as a result of that, they are kind of being disheartened about the process. And there are a lot of arguments that people are bringing up saying we should not be reviewing, we should not be paying the reviewers because that clouds their judgment, which I don't really believe is the case. I mean, there are other ways that if you want to think about, there are a lot of other examples for that. But in this particular case, is I think it's a part of the system where it is created so that the system is not paying the reviewers so that they can keep those profits for themselves, right? This is just my theory, my feeling. You can comment down below if you think this has some merit. Now, another reason that is also kind of prevalent is that if it's an original idea, there might not be anybody who is suitable, truly suitable to one person that is truly suitable to review it. So a consensus had to be reached in order to make sure that this content that is about to be published is worthy. Now, consensus does not mean one or two people, it has to be quite a few people. And that system is not available at the moment, right? So there are quite a few reasons why sometimes the knowledge that might be published or should be published that could really change things or really could make a difference are falling through the cracks. So, how can we do better? How can we improve the review process so that we maintain the trust in the system, we maintain the trust in the information that is getting published, so that people know that whatever this journal is presenting or this article is presenting has been checked by someone. But on the other hand, how can we make sure that the information is not lost? It's an interesting problem. It's an important problem so that we can improve the scientific process or the scientific literature as a whole. If you have any ideas, please let us know. We are thinking about this challenge as well, and we have some ideas that we are trying to implement. If you have any questions or comments or ideas, we would love to hear from you. Together, hopefully, we can change things. Thank you so very much. See you in the next one.